inside for Albert. Albert will get the score. Fiddler, it's farewell. He tapped into a legend and probably rugby league immortality. That's not a try, that's a miracle.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Rugby League Guru podcast. We've got your Team List Tuesday live reaction coming your way for round 21. And I'll tell you what, there is a bit to get stuck into. So let's rip into it. Kathmandu, welcome in. What's our first game?
First game of the round will be Roosters taking on the Storm on Thursday night, kickoff 7:50 at Allianz Stadium.
Yeah, Thursday night footy. This one's going to be a cracker just quietly. Now, a couple of big outs for both sides. For the Roosters, Chad Townsend not in the side. So Sandon, he comes in at 5'8". I think it was a selection they should have made last week. He was pulled from New South Wales Cup early, so this one makes sense. But it's worth noting that Hugo Savala is on the extended bench, so he might make a return this week. Ethan King gets his opportunities in the centres with Billy Smith out, and Siwa Wong returns. Now, he has been playing on the edge. He's been named in the lock forward role. Feketi's obviously made a bit of a home for himself on the edge, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a late change of Feketi and Wong potentially. But both of them can play the position, so we'll see. But good for the Roosters to have Wong back. For the Melbourne Storm, big news again. No Ryan Pappenhausen. He will not feature for another week. Another headache for Supercoach players out there that look like me. You got Wishy at 5'8". Cam Munster will not feature this week. And, of course, Nelson Asafa-Solomona, he will not play this week either, suspended for, I believe it is 2, might be 3 weeks. We'll wait for the judiciary results to come out there. Friday night footy, Cat.
Friday night kicks off with the Cowboys taking on the Dragons. This one kicks off at 6 p.m. Take a drink every time I say kick off. And this one is at Queensland Country Bank Stadium.
Now, Robert Derby, he's returned on the wing. Jackson Paulo out of this side. Braden Burns also gets a spot on the wing because Murray Tuolangi is out. Purdue has moved into the centres. Edwards is at prop. On top of that as well, you've got the young fella who returns at 5'8". Obviously, Tom Duffy got the start at the beginning of the season. I'm not sure what's going on with Jake Clifford. It's a bit hard to get anything out of North Queensland, but Tom Duffy's in there at 5'8" this week. Edwards lines up in the front row. Ruben Cotter in jersey 13, and Johnny Bateman returns on the edge as well. For the Dragons, Max Fangai gets an opportunity in the centres. I'd like to see them move Moses Sully to the left side. I think that would make more sense for this side, but we'll see what they do. Allen's on the wing as well. Just worth noting, Halangahu, who we've spoken about a lot on this podcast, I think he's going to be a star for the Dragons. Did really well for the Blues under 19s a few weeks ago. He's been named on the extended already. I think he will make his debut at some point this season, and it could be any given week. So just want to keep an eye on there. A real star of the future for Red V fans there. Late game, Cut.
Late game Friday, we have the Broncos taking on the Eels. Kickoff 8 p.m. Suncorp Stadium.
Yeah, for the Bronx, not too many changes here. Payne Haas returns to the side, which is a huge in. Outside of that, not a heap doing. For the Parramatta Eels, though, massive changes. We mentioned before Iongi in a podcast earlier today. He's been ruled out for 4 weeks, could potentially be more. So Joe Ash, he moves to the fullback role, which sees Hawkins actually come in and play 5'8". So Dill Brown, they are 100% looking towards the future. Dill Brown not coming into this side. Hawkins will be in the 5'8", and partnering him is Mitch Moses in the 7 jersey. Will Pensini returns at centre as well. He will replace Bailey Simonson, who goes onto the extended bench there. Super Saturday, Cat, where are we?
Super Saturday starts with the Warriors taking on the Titans at 3 p.m. This one is at Go Media Stadium.
Yeah, no big changes for the New Zealand Warriors outside of Chance returning. He'll line up at fullback, Tane Topiki on the extended. Nothing else to really talk about with the Warriors there, though. For the Gold Coast Titans, Jermaine Jolliffe, he'll move into the prop role. Cleese Haas will be in jersey 13. No sign of Tino. He's obviously out for 3 to 4 weeks. Dave Fafita also dropped from this side, as is Carm Piera. So a couple of guys coming in on the bench like Josh Patson and whatnot. But yeah, Dave Fafita not in the side at all, not even on the extended. So I don't know how this is all going to play out with Fafita. And Tino obviously out for a few weeks, and Carmpiera out of the side altogether. Middle game on Saturday, Kat.
Middle game, we have the Western Sydney derby between the Panthers and the Tigers. Kickoff 5:30 p.m. at their shared home stadium, CommBank Stadium.
Isaac Tungo returns from suspension for the Penrith Panthers in the centres. Brian Toto has been named on the wing. Worth noting, Alamotti is still on the extended bench, though. Nathan Cleary returns at halfback to take on Jerome Luai in this game. Isaiah Yeo in jersey 13. On the edges, as it stands, Isaiah Papali'i and Luke Garner. But joining Alamotti on the extended is Liam Martin, coming back from a hand injury from Origin. I'd keep an eye on this Panther side. I wouldn't be surprised if you do see some changes with potentially a Brian Toto being rested, maybe a Liam Martin coming in, so there could be a few deck chairs to be shuffled there still. As far as the Tigers go, shout out to Isaac Tui Tupu, I believe it's pronounced. I don't know too much about him. I believe making his NRL debut. So congratulations to him. Seafarth is on the edge and Bird is on the bench as well for the West Tigers. Good to see another debutant coming in to the NRL. Next one, Kathmandu.
Late game Saturday, we have the Rabbitohs taking on the Sharks at Industry Group Stadium. One of your favourites. This one kicks off at 7:35.
Palm trees for the Rabbitohs. Jai Gray at fullback in the centres. We've got Tallis Duncan remaining there. We've got Isaiah Tass joining him in the centres. Dodd gets his opportunity to wear the 7 jersey for South Sydney. He'll partner Jack Whiten in the halves. Havili wears jersey 9. Aitken returns to the back row. Congratulations to Ward, who makes his debut. Now, he's been playing a bit of jersey flag this year. Played some cup as well. But he did play in the trials for South Sydney. He looked really good. You might remember from the trials, actually said he reminds me a lot of a young Luke Cleary. So not much to him, but he's got a bit of talent to him. So congratulations to him on making his debut. Unreal to see. Obviously, all the outs of South Sydney add key onto that. Jamie Humphrey's not playing this week as well. So yeah, tough going for the South Sydney Rabbitohs. For the Sharkies, Jesse Ramian returns this week. No Britton Nikito. He's obviously got HIA from last week. So Billy Burns toast. He will line up on that right edge for the Cronulla Sharks. Sunday footy, Cat.
Sunday, we got some great footy starting with the Raiders taking on the Knights. This one is at GIO Stadium, kickoff 2 p.m.
Down there in the nation's capital, we've got Simi Sasangi. He lines up in the centres for this game. Seb Chris out of this one. And Noah Martin comes onto the bench for the Canberra Raiders as well. For the Knights, nothing major here. Just worth noting as well, we've been talking about him the last few weeks. Jermaine McEwen gets another opportunity to start on the edge. A kid that I think is going to evolve into a real star up there in Newcastle. So one to watch there. Last game, Mando.
Last game, rounding out with a little grand final rematch from back in the day. We have the Bulldogs taking on the Manly Seagulls. This one is at Allianz Stadium, kickoff 4:05.
Yeah, unreal initiative by the Bulldogs here. They're obviously wearing their 1995 retro jersey for this one. It is 30 years since the Bulldogs beat the Manly Seagulls on grand final day. And of course, this was at the SFS as well, hence why they're moving out there. Shout out Jimmy Dimmick, Clive Churchill medalist. Gets a feature on this podcast here and there wherever the fuck I can squeeze
really
him in. So good to see. But yeah, really good initiative. I love this. It's going to be unreal out there. Actually got invited out there, but I can't make it. Very, very upset about that one because this one's going to be a cracker. For the Doggies, Tuala, he'll be on the wing. Now, Bronson Cherry comes back in, so Tuala moves to the wing. They had the option of keeping Rinakama there. They've gone for the experience in Inari Tuala. Hughes at prop as well there, but nothing else to really touch on with the Canterbury Bulldog. Galvin at 7, but I think we can stop reporting on that each and every week now. You know he's going to be the halfback. Finally, that shit fight is over. For the Manly Seagulls, Olakau'atu, he returns on the edge. A huge in for the Seagulls in this game. So Corey Waddell returns to the bench there. Big in of Olakau'atu for a big game like this for the Seagulls on a bit of a roll at the moment. Won a few games on the trot. Big test against the Bulldogs in a big game at the SFS, and they get their big fella back on the right edge. The bye this week is the Dolphins. They'll be relieved to not get any injuries this week. Guys, that is Team List Tuesday for round 21, our live reaction to all the changes and everything going on. We've got Beers and Break-Evens coming your way tomorrow at 3 p.m. Stay tuned for that, followed by The Late Show. And then Sowie, he'll be joining us 6 a.m. on the podcast, 3 p.m. On Thursday afternoon as well. So 6 a.m. Thursday morning and then 3 p.m. Thursday afternoon on YouTube. Plenty more content coming your way on the Rugby League Guru podcast.